All right. I think I'm going to cook a Boston butt. I talked with one of my regulars online, and I was thinking about it, and then I was talking to one of my co-workers at work. He's been there before when I've made it in the past. It was a few years ago too. So anyway, he loves it. So I mentioned to him maybe I ought to get a Boston butt and smoke it and bring it for Super Bowl Sunday to work. What do you think? So anyway, I haven't gotten the Boston butt yet. I've been having to do other things today. I've been very occupied. And so anyway, I got the wood charcoal, the lump charcoal that I use. It's very good for long-lasting fires and starting fires. It's much better than just charcoal. I wouldn't use lighter fluid in this at all, never. I would not use lighter fluid in a big green egg. This is a big green egg, and I'm just lining it up a little bit with the lump charcoal. Now, I'm not lighting it today or anything. I'm just showing you the beginning process of what I do. And I got to put the ring and the other things back in there. The plate, the heat reflection plate, and then there's the top that you adjust the how much air you want flowing through there, and the wind and all that good stuff. And so anyway, so it's in good shape. I had to clean this whole area. This whole area was piled up with fat wood and stuff. So I put some of it in this box way over here, and I piled some up more on the table, and then over here on the other lathe. So I put the lathe over here on the sideways so I can get it out of the way, because it was sitting in front of this table. Okay, so I had to, it was buried. This whole big green egg area was just buried. Okay, and it had dust all over it, and I had to clean it all up. It's not perfect, but well, anyway, we got it. And what I'll do is when I get the Boston butt and I start preparing it, and I'll let you know what all I do. I have to refresh my memory, because it's been a while. I used to know all the little detailed things I would do, and because I did a lot of research, a bunch of research. When I finally settled with the perfect seasoning that I really liked the most, then I took off and trying to do other research. So the only downside about a big green egg is that you really, once it heats up, it stays very hot for a long period of time. It doesn't cool down that quickly. And so what I need is for it to be very hot when I first put the Boston butt on. And the Boston butt needs to be very cold, straight from the refrigerator after it's been seasoned, sitting there a few days in the refrigerator. Usually in the past, I'd let it sit and marinate for a whole week. A whole week, but I'm not going to be able to do it this time. It's a Wednesday, and Super Bowl Sunday is a few days from now. It's not, so anyway. So I'll season the meat, and I'll get it prepared, and I'll put it in the refrigerator and let it sit. And then I'll smoke it probably Saturday night, all throughout the night, because it usually takes about 16 hours, a little less or a little longer, give or take. So anyway, I hope y'all enjoy this video, and I hope y'all can join me. I wasn't going to do this, but I thought, I went ahead and when I mentioned it to my coworker, I thought, okay, I got him excited about it, and other people too. And they said, well, should we bring food also? And I said, well, that's up to you. You can bring food if you want. And see, I work at a pizza place, so there's always food there anyway, but we get tired of pizzas. I've been there for years, and I'll still eat pizzas, and I still bring them home, but I'm tired of them. I'd rather have something else, like a good steak or a Boston butt or, you know, pork barbecued or something. So, anyway, I'll join back with you later when I get going with this, and I hope y'all enjoyed this. And I hope y'all have a wonderful day, and we'll see you later, okay? All right, for anyone who might want to know what the rub is, I use a rub. I use a dry rub. I don't use marinade where you soak it. I have tried stuff like that. I just can't seem to get it right, and it doesn't seem to do as well. And that's not saying that it's not a fantastic method. It is. But, excuse me, I had to get some coffee. Anyway, it's called Memphis Dust. I got this recipe online. I didn't make it up myself. Wish I did. I mean, you know, my brothers, especially the middle of the siblings, would be able to put spices and things together at random and make wonderful tasting foods and stuff. I don't know how he did it. I don't know. I just don't know. Maybe he had a great sense of smell. But regardless, okay, so what we need is 3/4 cup of brown sugar. So not everything in this recipe, like I don't believe the coffee's in there, and I don't think the Tang is in there. I have Tang, so there's 2 things that I tweak it with that are not in the recipe that I know of. Now, I could be wrong. So if you look it up online, look up Memphis Dust, you will find that recipe, and you can see exactly what the measurements are and what all is in there and what all is not in there that I have added personally to mine. So anyway, this is ginger, and I don't have any powdered ginger, so I cut it up real good. Best I could. It's kind of sticky right now, but it's okay. It'll get mixed up in everything. So we're supposed to have, if you have ground ginger, it's supposed to be 2 tablespoons. Okay, now we need a 3/4 cup of brown sugar. This stuff is kind of stuck together. So what I'm going to do, so this is not really a cooking video. I do wood turning, but I thought I would share the recipe with you. That's about 3/4, even though that's a full cup right there. This is a cup, a measuring cup of 1 cup, but I didn't measure it all the way up. So that's probably approximately, you know, as you get older, and you've cooked a lot, you get a good feel for measurements. You don't really need measuring cups and stuff. 3/4 cup of white sugar. A lot of sugar in here. Okay, so we got the brown sugar, we got the white sugar. 1/2 cup of paprika. 1/2 cup. And I don't just get paprika. I get smoked paprika. I can't even talk right, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I get smoked paprika. I'm getting all over the place. Guess what I found in my drawer of spices this morning? I hadn't even gotten a Boston butt, by the way. But guess what I found? So I'm going in my drawer here, looking around for stuff. And I can't find my spices anywhere that I'm looking for. And lo and behold, I moved some stuff out of the way. There's a $50 bill tucked away in there. I found $50 that I put in there a long time ago and forgot about. Isn't that so cool? I love that. I love when I find money. I think everybody does. Especially, you know, a winter coat. You know, you put it away in a pocket or something, and you forgot all about it, and then you go next year and then you reach in there and there's $20 bill or something, or $5 bill, what have you. That's pretty cool. Let's see, let me get some more paprika. I got more paprika than this. What's going on here? Where's this? This is chili powder. No, that's not paprika. So, I was seeing it everywhere, and there's paprika right here in this. This is not smoked paprika, but this is. So, for the most part, we do have the smoked paprika. This will give it alright, don't start. Brown sugar, especially this, will give the bark. It'll form a bark on the outside of the Boston butt, and it will give it a beautiful, beautiful color. There's some beautiful stuff right there. That paprika. I'll just put that up top on there. It's not supposed to be on there. It's supposed to be on a shorter one. I don't care. 1/4 of a cup of garlic powder. Yeah, this is cool stuff. I can't find something. That doesn't make sense. Hold on a second. Okay, I got a fourth a cup of garlic powder. A lot of stuff, I tell you. Man, there's a lot of stuff. That garlic powder's some good stuff, though. Now, I have these old... This is probably going to use it all. It is. I have these old bottles. They used to be my mom's. She got this. I don't know where she got this. But I tell you what. This is very old. This is very, very old. And she got these bottles with it. You know, it came with the whole spice rack and stuff. And I cherish stuff like that. You can't read the label very well, but that's okay. It's old, so why would I throw it away? They don't make stuff like this anymore. So I cherish stuff like that. That's beautiful stuff. So what I'll do sometimes is I'll take some of the spices that I bought at the grocery store, and I'll empty them in these little bottles and put them in my spice rack. They used to be my mom's. I think that's so cool. Okay, there's the garlic powder. Need 2 tablespoons of pepper. And I don't have the black pepper that I would like to use. Anyway, we'll hold off on the black pepper. So far we have a 3/4 cup of brown sugar, 3/4 cup of white sugar, a 1/2 cup of paprika, 1/4 cup of garlic powder, 2 tablespoons of pepper, and I don't have enough pepper yet. So I got to go to the grocery store. I got to get a Boston butt still anyway. Okay, but we're going to go ahead and add the rest, and I'll put the pepper in later. 2 tablespoons of ground ginger. That's already in there. It's not ground, but it's cut up. And when I mix it together, it'll kind of distribute it out throughout the spices. That'd be cool. 2 tablespoons of onion powder. 2 tablespoons. 1. That won't come out because it's kind of moisturing a little bit, apparently. Got stuck together in there. Cooking's fun. I used to hate cook, to be honest with you. Because I used to be very athletic and outside a lot. And my brothers learned how to cook before I did. Believe it or not. So, but I learned how to cook. And I cook. I just got recipes from my mom and just follow the recipes. And now, you know, it's okay. I'll go through these spurts where, you know, these times where I can't wait to cook and I enjoy cooking. I want to cook all kinds of stuff. And then I'll go through a time where I don't have time to cook. I don't feel like cooking. I don't want to cook. So I just have to be in the mood, I reckon you can say. But when I'm gonna cook for a group of people, the people I work with and my family and stuff like that, I get excited because, you know, it's a way you show your love to people, right? Love through your food. You know, my mom always said a way to a man's heart is through his stomach. Yeah, I think it's true. I think it's very true. What do you think? You can throw this one away. So we have everything down to the onion powder. I got the rosemary. Now I need a tablespoon of Tang. Alright, and I got this. My mom got this a long time ago, so you can reach up here and grab stuff. I'm not a tall person. I'm just average. My goodness. Oh, got it. Okay, so the Tang and the coffee are the two ingredients, like I said before, that I tweak it with. I got those off of others. 1 tablespoon of Tang. Beautiful stuff. Some coffee. And I usually use some of my decaf because caffeinated coffee does something bad to me, to my nervous system. I used to drink a lot of coffee over the years, and I started having some problems with muscle twitching and stuff, and I went to the neurologist, and they I was afraid I had like Lou Gehrig's disease or something weird, you know. When I get afraid of something, I really, I don't know, I just run away with fear, thinking I have something terrible. Now I don't care. If I get something, I get something. We're all going to die one day, right? So, anyway, he ran all the tests for Lou Gehrig's. Everything was good and normal. I don't have Lou Gehrig's and all that stuff. And then he said he thought what it was coffee. Because he asked me, do you drink coffee? And I said, yes, I do. I drink coffee. And he said he had a friend who was a doctor also that went through the same kind of problems with muscle twitching and stuff. And, you know, like their arm would move or their leg would move a little bit, you know, involuntarily. And he said that all it was coffee. So he said, you need to stop drinking coffee. Well, I ignored him. You know, when you're younger and you're young, you feel invincible. And you think you can just do whatever you want to. You don't have to follow the doctor's instructions because, you know, hey, I'm young. I don't have to worry about anything bad happening to me. But it'll catch up with you one day. So, okay, I'm just mixing all this together. I don't know why I'm telling y'all all these stories. I reckon, you know, I can always cut it out of the video if I want to, right? Now, I have some Memphis dust already in this bottle. Where's that bottle? Right here. But it's way down here. There's not that much left. It's not enough. I had to get a spoon so I can break up clumps and stuff in here. Smells good. Good stuff. Now, I don't just use this all by itself. One of the main things that gives it such a wonderful, wonderful taste is the sauce. Dreamland barbecue sauce. And what I do, because this is tangy, and it slightly has a bite to it, is I put brown sugar in there, and I put it in a pan on the stove top, and I warm it up, and I melt the brown sugar in there and get it sweetened up so it's a sweet, tangy taste. This is the main thing that really makes it taste so good. Although the Memphis dust is good. It's the best one I've found, and I did a lot of research for a long time there. A lot of research because I was so excited and interested in barbecuing, because when we grew up we really didn't barbecue. I should put it through the strainer or something. I don't know. Some clumps in here. So anyway, I got it all mixed up. Pretty much. There's clumps here and there. I gotta get rid of. That's probably ginger right there. It is. So I got it all mixed up. And I'm gonna go to. So now I shared it with you, and I will write it down in the description box, in the remarks. I will write down the recipe that I use, okay, in case anybody wants to try it out. Okay, and I'll be back later. I need to get a Boston butt. Alright, I have a Boston butt, or a pork shoulder. You know the reason why they call it Boston butt, right? Now, I don't know the whole story about it, but basically, in a nutshell, they used to put them in these barrels called butts. They'd fill them up, and so they were called Boston butts because of that. That's in a nutshell. I'm not a historian, so I don't remember everything about it. I just know that I've heard it talked about in videos and stuff. I'll put this right here, over here, because when you start cutting on it and stuff, I'm going to cut the fat cap off. I don't personally like it. Some people do. I do not. It renders a different taste. So I cut it off. I cut as much fat as I can off, is what I do. My personal preference. Everybody has their own taste. Doesn't make it wrong at all. You can do whatever you want. It's your Boston butt. You bought it. You can scour it if you want to. Put the seasoning on. Now, after we get this prepared, this knife is a little bit on the dull side. After we get it prepared, I'll put salt on it. I'm going to salt this whole thing, and we're going to let it sit in the refrigerator for a few days. This knife. I'll be right back. Alright, I got the Mora knife. See if it's better. It's usually pretty sharp. Now, I got this knife from Cowboy Kelly. She sent me this knife. Now, I got it a little bit rough looking, but, well, you know, I try to enjoy the things that I get. I try to keep them in nice shape and clean, but I think for all practical purposes, this cuts much better. Gosh, this cuts much better. I don't know what it is about the Mora, but they do a good sharpening job. I'm not somebody who is knowledgeable about sharpening knives and stuff. I know the basics. That's about it. I got a knife sharpener in a drawer, but it's not one of those fancy things that I don't think chefs would use. Anyway, regardless. Okay, we're obviously not going to get all out. That's fine. I want to get the main crap out. Okay. It's looking pretty good. Yeah, there's fat all through it, so. You know, my video camera may have been down the whole time, and I deeply apologize for that, but, well, you heard what I was talking about, so, oh well. I got a little bit more off. Okay, this bag, because of what I'm going to do, I can't touch that. Let's put it over here. I'll put this down in the sink like this. I'm going to put Saltol on it. Okay. So now we salt it. And I usually do it in the sink. You can do whatever way you want. And I like to use a plastic bag because I'm going to put it in the refrigerator and I'm going to close it up so that you can get some of the air out of it so that it really just, you know, pushes the salt in there and just really gets it going good. Might also flip it around. Okay, we got it salted up. I don't want to put too terribly much in there. On there, there's a lot of salt on there already. So, I'll just twist it around. I'm not going to try it. We got our Boston butt ready to go. Where's that pan? All right. So this is going to sit in the refrigerator for a few days until Saturday. And then, after it's sat a while, well, before then, I will put the seasoning on there. I do not put the seasoning on there at first. Why? I don't remember. The main thing right now is it needs salt on it and let it sit a few days. That's the main thing. And then take it out probably about tomorrow evening sometime. Maybe when I get home from work or something and early in the morning. Then I'll put the rub on there and let it sit.